Carousel of Life, Day 30, Us Against the World. A Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction written based on the Adrinette April 2019 daily prompts. If you're new to this story or missed any of the previous chapters, check out the description box for links or click on the card in the upper right corner for the playlist. I hope you enjoy this ride on the Carousel of Life. So, what are we gonna check out first? Adrien draped himself over Marinette's shoulder to inspect the directory. The reef exhibit! Alya exclaimed enthusiastically. I've been researching them for my aquarium blog, and this one's supposed to be the biggest, most diverse reef aquarium in Europe. You started another blog? Marinette asked incredulously. Well, since my dad got the twins a reef tank for their birthday, guess who's taking care of it, by the way? I've been documenting all the updates and I've kinda gotten hooked. Alya tapped and swiped her phone screen a few times. Just sent it to you. You know you want to subscribe. You should check out the picture of the banded frogfish she posted yesterday. It looks crazy, Nino remarked as they set off toward the saltwater tanks. But I kinda love it. I think it's my favorite. Hold up, crew. Alya stopped them with an outstretched arm, then whipped out her camera app. The ladybug charm swung cheerfully as she held up her phone and cracked a smile. Selfie time! Say reef! I have a suggestion. Adrien warbled in slow glissandos as they made their way through the saltwater exhibit. What's your suggestion? Marinette crossed her arms and quirked an inquisitive brow at his peculiar manner of speaking. Why don't we visit the whales next? He added in the same glacial, swooping tones. Alya and Nino took notice of his bizarre voice from several meters away and shot him odd looks. You watched Finding Nemo in preparation for this outing, Marinette concluded dryly. Guilty as charged, Adrien admitted in a chipper tone. Continuing to watch him with soft fondness, Marinette let out a little laugh. He took notice of her faraway expression. Something on your mind, princess? Yeah. Marinette unfolded her arms and took Adrien's hand, fingers interwoven, palms touching. Just thinking that you've changed. Changed? He looked slightly concerned, remembering Tiki's words from the day before. I hope that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, Marinette hummed. You just seem more carefree. I was just thinking back to a month or two ago, before the play, when things were still sort of awkward between us. I don't think you'd ever act so silly. I would never have suspected, you know. Adrien watched a clownfish nose about in its anemone bed, silently self-reflecting as he swung Marinette's hand back and forth. They walked at a leisurely pace, several meters behind Alya and Nino, so they could have their private conversation. I guess you're right, he agreed after a little while. I used to feel like I was acting out a role everywhere I went. Whether it was school, or modeling, or fencing, or even just hanging out with friends, I felt like I was trying to be whatever people expected of me. The only time I didn't feel like that was when I was... He hesitated, then gestured vaguely in the air. You know, and I could do whatever I wanted and sort of invent my own role. I don't remember when I stopped feeling like I was acting as myself, but yeah, I don't anymore. Marinette squeezed his hand. That sounds like a good thing. He smiled at her. Definitely a good thing. He lifted her hand and kissed the back of it. It's probably thanks to you. Marinette blushed. She didn't know what to say to that, but there was no need for an answer. They walked peacefully, hand in hand, watching the tropical fish pass by in swarms of aimless determination. What made you start suspecting I was her? Marinette asked softly, only a little louder than the hum of the tanks. The answer to that question made Adrien smile. I wish I could say it was the fact that you were the two most resourceful girls I knew, or that I'd noticed you always disappeared when there was an Akuma, or that your hair and eyes look exactly the same. But... He snorted. It was actually something really trivial. Oh? Marinette was very curious. Yeah, That day I got you flowers and put them on your desk and you tripped into me? You said you were madly clumsy. She blinked, uncomprehending at first. That's how you introduced yourself to me the first time we met. He waggled his eyebrows. Remember? Realization dawned on Marinette. Oh! I just realized. You were about to introduce yourself as Marinette, weren't you? Adrien's face broke into a delighted grin. Did your Kwame not explain about secret identities? Shut up! I had no idea what I was doing. The yo-yo literally yanked me right off my balcony, and the next thing I knew, I was crashing into a stranger wearing a ridiculous catsuit. What did you expect? Marinette babbled in her defense. You are adorable. Adrien kissed her hand again, unfazed by the comment about the catsuit. Anyway, you're the one who wasted your cataclysm on a soccer goal. Marinette countered, not to be defeated. Adrien leaned into her ear. As much as I love this conversation, we probably shouldn't be having it here. Right. Marinette's cheeks colored at her mistake. Sorry for bringing it up. Anyway, I've realized that I'm an idiot, Adrien declared, changing the topic. I mean, I probably looked like an utter fool giving you those flowers and claiming you were just a friend. I'm positive I was already in love with you back then and just didn't know it. You were not, Marinette insisted. You were so obsessed with that other girl, I probably barely registered as female to you. That is not true, Adrien protested in a wounded tone. I definitely noticed you. As a cute girl. His cheeks warmed at the admission. He always had found Marinette distractingly pretty. Plus, I'd already kissed you by then. Marinette gasped as she realized. 3 times! The memory of their friend date and the discussion of their parallel 3 uncounted kisses flooded back to Adrien's mind, and he slapped his forehead with his palm. Confirmed. We are both idiots. Marinette giggled into his shoulder. Adrien hooked Marinette's arm in his own and pulled her into the alcove of a utility door between 2 shark tanks. Hey, princess. He thumbed her cheekbone, admiring the reflections of the shimmering water in her cerulean irises. Just wanted to remind you that I love you. I don't think I could forget with you reminding me every 10 minutes. As she smiled softly, Marinette noticed his eyes lingering on her lips and got the hint, standing on tiptoes to close the distance between them. I love you too, my prince. He ducked his head for another quick kiss before they noticed they weren't alone. Alya? Marinette protested, extending her palm to cover Alya's phone camera lens. That is rude. Just making sure you two are behaving and playing nice, because you're my precious friends and I care about you. Alya grinned. And you couldn't resist taking a photo? You're as bad as my parents. Marinette grumbled. Why am I surrounded by nosy people? Let her watch if she wants. Adrien pulled Marinette in, dipping her as he kissed her in the most romantic way possible. Ooh la la! Alya took a photo, then another, but when her friends didn't break their pose, she stuck out her tongue and made a playful gagging noise. Oh, you guys are too much. Way to make me feel weird. But I get it, I'm intruding. See you when you catch up. She gave a jaunty wave. When she had gone off down the corridor to rejoin Nino, Marinette and Adrien broke apart, snickering, and bumped their fists together. The Akuma alert went off when they were getting seated for the Dolphin Show. Marinette silenced the alert on her phone as soon as she felt it begin to buzz, and noticed that Adrien had done the same, but their attempts to mask the alarm were in vain as the phones of every other person in the arena went off at the same time. Great, it was a local Akuma. Now it was going to be harder not looking suspicious that they had to immediately duck out. Hey Alya, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom really quickly, Marinette muttered to her friend, jabbing a thumb toward the exit. Now? Hurry up, girl, Alya urged absent-mindedly as she skimmed the alert briefing. I might not even stay for the show. The Akuma's 2 blocks away. If it comes any closer, you bet I'm gonna try to snag some footage. Be careful, Alya. I'm gonna go to the bathroom too. Adrien interjected awkwardly, raising one hand. Dude, you guys don't have to hide it. Nino threw a light punch to Adrien's arm. Alya and I totally get wanting to play some Super Penguino. Weird timing, but who's gonna judge? Not us, right, babe? What? Nino? Adrien's jaw dropped. It's not... well... And then he realized this might actually be a useful alibi. He rubbed the back of his neck, feeling a little flustered about what Nino must be thinking, but no longer trying to deny it. Your girl's leaving, Agrest. Alya lifted her eyebrows suggestively, giving a little nod in the direction of Marinette sidestepping spectators' knees to escape the bleachers. Adrien grinned sheepishly. Bye. He took off after Marinette. They think we're canoodling, to use Plag's terminology, Adrien murmured. They'd found a secluded video screening booth on the way to the bathroom, and it was as good a place as any, with the added perk that they could transform together instead of splitting up. Which is embarrassing, but since we're already here... He didn't have to finish the thought before Marinette pressed him up against the wall, lips colliding with his. Yeah, get it all out before you transform. Plag jeered over Adrien's shoulder. Remember to act the same as always, Tiki cautioned gently, emerging from Marinette's purse. Marinette dazedly broke away from Adrien and attempted to collect her senses. Ready, my love? Adrien nodded and took a steadying breath. Ready. You know, it feels so much more pure knowing that we've only been kissing one another this whole time, Marinette laughed. That it's been just us all along. Right? Us against the world, as always. Adrien smirked and pulled her closer. The Akuma, Marinette reminded him, though tempted. Of course, Adrien breathed. But there's something I've always wanted to try. Ah. Marinette comprehended as Adrien nuzzled her nose with his. A smile blossomed on her face. Tiki, spot's on. Claws out. As their lips met again, they felt the magic rush over them from head to toe, the material of the suits wrapping the skin of their fingers between their intertwined hands. When they opened their eyes, they were mask to mask. Miraculous, Ladybug whispered in a playful tone. Well, I can check that one off my bucket list. Chanoir winked. Shall we, milady? Thank you for listening to the final part of Carousel of Life. It's been almost exactly a year since I started this series on April 1st, 2019, and I've really enjoyed this project, so I hope you have as well. Even though Carousel of Life has come to a close, don't worry, there will be more fanfiction to look forward to very soon. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about future updates. Take care until next time!